You can bet before we're through.
Mr. I'll make a champ for you.
Make a champ.
It's gonna be very clunky.
Make a champ.
With a lot of nerves needed.
Make a champ.
We'll need all the help we can get.
Make a champ.
Riot, please hire us today.
Well, now we've gotten rid of all of our viewers, we can proceed with the League of Legends Champions Design Workshop number 5. That's right, we've done it for over 4 weeks, which means that if we were crimes, we would be a crime wave. Instead, we've just been a wave of top quality League of Legends champ design content. I can transition from anything to anything. Not well, but I can do it.
Oh, ideal. Okay. So, for our viewers, you do not want to know how long it took us to write that intro. It was way too long. Okay, well, anyway, so we do not have any inspiration from Reddit this week, but that means that we can get as much inspiration from our chat, if there is any today. But I'm guessing, we have Happy Light Senses always bring up so much ideas. So I'm guessing we'll have some participation, and we can also let our imagination run freely this week.
Yes, so we're normally broadcasting on Wednesdays at 3:30 UK time. We've had to delay a little bit due to personal stuff, so it's quite possible we'll be just kind of free to let our imaginations go wild today without I think Happy is kind of the unofficial third member of the thing, because she comes up with all the good ideas.
Yeah, we are just mucking about, and then she says, "Hey, how about using something that is actually useful?" Oh yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yes, for anyone who hasn't seen this before, who has somehow survived up until this point without losing their mind already, we go through each week and we take suggestions from the community, we take suggestions from our own minds as to champions to put together, and we're kind of learning champion design by trial and error. I think we're definitely getting better at it. I wouldn't ever say we're good, because I don't think that's, you can really measure that, but I think we're getting better.
There's a lot of improvement, definitely, yeah.
Alright, so I think we might as well just get started with some initial ideas. I didn't actually come with anything to hand. We were talking about freaky fish guys beforehand, so I guess that could be a decent place to start, unless you had something else in mind.
No, freaky fish guy is good for me. So, okay, so they just released Yumi. So I'm guessing if you release a fish guy, or at least a fish champion this week, that can it kind of fits into the team, because her running joke is that she likes fish.
That's true.
So I'm guessing we're kind of, we're in the theme, we're down with the meta.
I quite like it. Because the spell, you could be all right, so let's immediately throw in the Yumi connection. Because there aren't actually that many non-human, non-void things in the game.
I guess Nami and Fizz are the only ones that can really Nami and Fizz, and you have the tree and things. But let's say animalistic, there aren't really a lot. You have, although, that being said, you have Rengar, Kha'Zix, Nami, Fizz. Guessing that's it. Warwick, maybe? He's or a Nessus. Or a Renekton. Okay, so there might be a couple. It might have been an idea that already been touched on my ride, so that means that there is room for more.
Yes, okay, so yes, we've got... You're right, so Fizz... Fizz is kind of tangentially sea-related. He's kind of like an octopus guy, kind of?
Yeah. Fizz is... Fizz is a fish. I think the name gives it away. But I don't know. Yeah, he's like a hybrid between something like a fish and something from the sea. He always gave me a he's what I would imagine if a mantra, a manta ray would be more humanoid. I'm guessing that's what Fizz is.
Okay. Well, let's see. So I'm thinking as well as humanoid. So yeah, sorry. So just to kind of clarify a little bit what we're doing here, is to trying to go through and see what kind of what mechanics are in place already for pre-existing champions who have sea connections.
Yes.
So for humanoid side of things, we've got Pike. So his stuff is the diving underwater, which is an invisible mechanic. Invisible movement. I guess, well, we could always throw them all into this one place, actually. So his is his summon fish, or his ult. But I don't think actually too much else from, I guess it's just his trident.
Yeah, his trident. You have Nautilus, which is a diver.
Yes. Pike and Nautilus have a lot of similar thematics.
Yeah, Pike and Nautilus, both of them got left behind, and they got sort of swallowed up by the sea, and the sea spit them back out. But it changed them in an entirely different way. So that's
true.
Cool.
Yes.
So I'm guessing we can do something similar, like, somebody got swallowed up by the sea, or drowned or something, and I don't want to say resurrected, or he might have gotten resurrected, and that made him into something else.
Okay. Yes, so changed by the sea. So.
Okay, let's do what Riot actually does. Let's take some inspiration from mythology. So, oh wow, already being unprofessional. Okay, it's fine.
I think probably the reason why why champions are sort of changed by the sea, from humans to something else, is to make them a bit more relatable. Because I was initially had this idea in my head of someone who was like truly alien, because if you've got I really like the idea in stuff like, what was it? What's the movie with there's like two movies which are almost the same thing, where the merman gets rescued by the lady who can't speak.
Shape of Water. Of the Disney movie. Yeah, come on, Little Mermaid.
Oh yeah, no, almost, yeah. Shape of Water and Little Mermaid have a lot in common.
Oh, Shape of Water, yeah. Oh yeah, Shape of Water as well. Yeah.
Well, so in Little Mermaid, you're talking about like a society which is effectively human in structure, which is just kind of
it's like a kingdom, right?
Yeah, but it's broadly still like recognizable as a human society. Just it happens to be that instead of being humans, it's just different kinds of like sea creature which fill in different roles that otherwise humans would be taking. With something like The Shape of Water, you've got more of the idea that they're very alien to humans because they don't, presumably whatever society they have is very different.
Okay, so what kind of approach do you want to take? Do you want to take something more of the, alien approach, or more of because the alien approach is really, it is inherently a sea creature that comes onto land, let's say, or it's a sea creature, and the other approach is it was something human or something similar, like it can even yodel or whatever, and it kind of it was changed by the sea.
It's a tough choice, isn't it? Because that's the trade-off. It's you're asking a lot more of a. I'm trying to think of stuff that. So in Warcraft, Naga are probably the closest I can think of to.
Yeah, definitely.
That kind
the
of
Naga
idea.
they were the night elves who got locked, or they're some of, I think, little Wobler here. So there's a lot of their seas, or the sea swallowed a few of their cities, and they kind of evolved or got changed by the goddess or whatever to be more like. I think they even got because they rewrote it. Because I know Naga from the Warcraft 3 game, which if you haven't played it, shame on you. And I think they changed it. I think they changed it with the in WoW. I think they changed that one of the old gods made the Naga, or at least he changed the night elves, or he changed.
Oh, like it was
like
retconned.
Yeah. So they say, I think in the up-to-date lore, there was this one night elf queen who wanted more power, so she made a deal with one of the old gods, and the old god changed her people into the Naga because they were more powerful in that way or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm thinking that
That's actually something we can do. I mean,
well, the closest I can think to that in League of Legends current lore, and this is something which they haven't really explored properly, and it feels very underdeveloped, so maybe that's something we could tie onto, is Alawi.
yeah, Alawi's, because she has the idol of her god, the tentacle god, and she's like a servant, like a priest of that god, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like, it felt like it was some, because it's obviously very closely Cthulhu, like,
Based, yeah.
yeah, like that kind of thing. But I think we could maybe we could do someone from the same kind of faction who has been changed into more of a
Bilgewater again, right?
Yeah, I think let's probably make the Bilgewater thing. But okay, how about this? How about that because I don't think Alawi's background has really gone into in a lot of detail. I'm gonna have a quick look up on her now and just check to see if that is the case, because I think I remember it wasn't.
What if we So what we can do is, because everybody's a pirate in Bilgewater, right? But what if he's just a merchant?
Well, I was
don't know.
I was thinking presumably if I don't know, do you happen to know Alawi's backstory?
Oh, I'll just look it up. Okay, so I know that I know her personality well, but I don't know what her real backstory is. Okay, read biography. Thank you.
Okay, so she represents the Kraken god. How about, I guess let's not worry too much about like research, just so we can actually do something. How about the idea that if the Kraken god is more of it's its own faction which exists next to Bilgewater but isn't of Bilgewater itself? Like
it's like a religion, sort of, yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's taking if you go down the Cthulhu line, maybe in Bilgewater, like people are getting kidnapped by this Kraken cult, and they're being changed into Deep Ones was the Cthulhu one where it's like sort of human fish hybrids. I presume it's supposed to be that they were kind of interbred or kind of cursed in some fashion to make them into non-human creatures who then would pretty much exclusively serve the Kraken god. So, I don't know, what do you think of that kind of idea?
Yeah, we can. That's a good idea, but I don't know, because I had another idea, but I kind of want to go with yours as well now, because my idea was that we had one guy, whomever, he just drowned and he got saved by the tentacle god, or at least he prayed to the Kraken, and the Kraken kind of saved him.
Okay, Freshy. That's strange. Why is it showing it's offline on my stream on Restream? But I'm definitely streaming. Okay, so it's.
I think you're streaming now, yeah.
All right. Well, I think something went a bit wrong with it before. So, anybody who tunes in now, this might well be the start of the video. So apologies if that's the case. There was a problem with my Restream, I think. So. Anyone who's coming to this for the first time, welcome to Champion Design Workshop number 5. We've actually got a bit through, well, not very far, but we've got a little bit through the initial stages of this current Champion Design. But I think we've already gotten as far as basically thinking that we're going to narrow in on something that's connected to Alawi. But I think, Exodus, you had some alternate ideas you wanted to float around as well.
Yeah, so my initial idea was that there was the person or the champion we're going to discuss here is he had a shipwreck or something, or he got thrown into the sea or something or whatever, or at least he was drowning, and then the Kraken god saved him.
Yeah, so I like that.
So he was drowning, and the Kraken god saved him. And actually, we can even tie that in with your idea, because we don't have to write an entire book on his backstory, but the cult or something, or he got thrown out of the cult you were speaking of, and they threw him down in a sack or something, or they were trying to drown him. They threw him in the ocean, and then the Kraken god saved him, or something like that.
I like that idea. Yeah. So they were originally going to be a sacrifice.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
But then, like, the Kraken god, for reasons, being inscrutable is the Kraken god's, modus operandi. Absolutely. So yeah, like the idea. So they were thrown into. They were kidnapped from Bilgewater, thrown into the sea, but the Kraken God decided for whatever reason that they were worthy, and raised and like brought them back out of the sea once again, but changed. Changed.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it.
Nice. Okay. So that's our. So how does this guy look like? What's his? Did his physical appearance change or?
I think probably. I mean, the most obvious thing to go for is the Pirates of the Caribbean, Davy Jones approach, which is. I'm just gonna bring up a picture.
Yeah, like having kelp and such stuck to him, like having parts of coral, maybe something tentacly, because it is the Kraken God, stuck to him. So that is indeed the obvious approach. So I'm thinking if we can make anything original into, or incorporate anything original into that.
What's that? Let's see. Because yeah, I think ideally.
What if he became a merman?
Okay. Do you have a particular kind of merman? Maybe we could try and combine these two ideas in some fashion.
Like the joke, only bottom half merman. Sorry, only top half merman.
Oh, I like it. I like it a lot.
So
wait,
his head
reverse merman.
Reverse merman.
I think that definitely is a thing.
Oh wow! So he does a Winnie the Pooh thing where this part is clothed, as in this is a fish, and the rest of him is snake.
Okay, I think I found people. Yeah, the difficulty with that is that they're not wearing any pants. I have found one
wear
which is
pants.
okay.
Yeah, let's make him wear pants.
Well,
Or we can just do regular merman. We can do regular merman as well.
No, I love the reverse merman idea. I'm just get a picture from. Let's see, who's that from?
Is it a fish? Is it a shark? No, it's reverse merman.
I like it just because. I think it's something that just needs to be done at some point. So that's from who's that from? That's from Bear Man Tooth's Tumblr.
Okay, so we have reverse merman.
Some other stuff to throw around as well is, let me see if I can get this as an actual picture. Oh, there we go. It doesn't actually have to be a combination of a man and something else. It could be, as in this picture here, a combination of something like a bear.
It's bearfish.
Like, we're definitely veering very heavily into meme territory now.
Wow, bearfish, yeah. Okay, wow.
So I'll stick these potential inspirations off to the side. I think. Well, the thing is, like, the Naga basically are reverse mermen, except it's more of a, rather than it just being like a very distinct kind of top and bottom half, it's more of the whole body is half man, half fish. I think I'll take the bear out.
Yeah, maybe it's just too much it's pretty difficult to work with.
I think, I think. Well, I suppose having not done any research into the sort of what generated the idea behind mer people, because I think initially the idea was it was manatees.
Yeah, manatees, because of like a mirage, they kind of looked like women, I'm guessing. Like, I don't know the exact science behind it, or the exact reason. But I think like there were manatees from afar because of the light. It almost looked like people sunbathing. But then they dove into the water, and and you could still see the tail. So I'm guessing that's where the idea from mermaids came from, or at least the mermaids how we know them now came from.
So if we work on the idea that this is some kind of mer person of some variety. So
yeah,
let's see. So we've got. Let's look up Alawi's kit just to make sure. So I think if we're gonna connect,
I don't know. His top side can be, instead of a fish, can be like an octopus, since he's still Kraken-y.
Yeah, I quite like the idea of something which is you could have. Well, I'm trying to think actually what would actually make it different from just being the Davy Jones character from Pirates of the Caribbean. You could have like a tentacles that are more kind of cover them all the way down to like that they emerge from the top half, but they kind of they're almost like a dress.
I actually already have a good idea for his ultimate now. So his ultimate can be Call of the Kraken.
Okay.
Where it's a CC ability, and it can be an AoE, it doesn't have to be, where just the tentacles come out and hold people in place.
Okay, so tentacles emerge from the ground, reaching. Actually, yeah, I really like that idea because that's much more. So it's basically we're talking like a. What's it called?
They don't have to do a lot of damage, but it has to be or at least a root. It has to be a root where the tentacles hold people in place.
Let's see. I'm trying to make sure I've got the right build.
Or even something like an Oriana shockwave, where it reaches out and it grabs everybody.
Yeah, so I thought maybe the variation we could do on the because I'm thinking that it is Stranglethorns. So it's basically similar to Stranglethorns, but it's actually a. Actually, that could be kind of fun. How about this idea? So it's similar to Stranglethorns. But they move around. So if you imagine like that you've got a central point, and then maybe what you can do is when you cast it, you can choose what direction it's going to like whip. As in, you can kind of rotate it one way or the other.
Oh yeah, it sort of rotates. So you have this one central point, and the tentacle rotates around it.
Yeah, and you can choose how it rotates. So you could either set it to be. Yeah, this is actually pretty neat. So if you have it so you set your central point, and then it gives you a line going straight outwards, and you can choose by moving it left or right which direction it goes, clockwise or anti-clockwise, and also how quickly it rotates. So if you want it to be more like to hit people, then you can.
Okay, I'm just gonna put my foot to silence.
Yeah, sure. Sorry guys, we'll be back in just a second.
Yes, very unprofessional indeed. Very unprofessional indeed. Yes.
Okay. So we start with the center. You start with the central point, and then you have a line that kind of shoots out and like probably drags your cursor with it, and so you can make it so it either stays in place if you just cast it like that, or you can send it left or right, and depending on how much you send it left or right is how quickly it goes. So if you want, like maybe the faster it goes, the less time it lasts. You can have you can either have something which means that you control an area very definitively by having those things kind of spin around very quickly.
And we can actually make it more powerful, because it already sounds more powerful than Stranglethorns, than Zyra's ultimate. It can only be, as in where you're standing is the center of the ability, because otherwise if it has a cost range, it might be too powerful. So let's say your champion needs to be in the middle.
I like that,
because otherwise I think it's going to be too powerful.
Well, there's a long time ago I saw a play called A Gigantic Beard That Was Evil, and one of the things they did in it, which was really striking, was they put they had like someone who was wearing a jacket, and they put two ropes through the jacket, like through the back of it, so they came out of the armholes, and they had like stage hands to either side of the stage, and they twisted the ropes. They kind of like twisted across, and it made this incredible visual of somebody kind of like effectively being torn apart by tentacles. And maybe they could do something similar with this, where it kind of like the tentacles come out of the character's body, so they're immobilized. But then
I like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So he's immobile, and the tentacles kind of at least they rotate around him, around the center of him. Yeah. And let's say they'll do damage, a lot of damage in as well, because this will be a very difficult ability to hit. Oh, this is already great synergy with Nunu, by the way.
Well, so I suppose if you do damage and a small knockback in the direction of travel. That means you can get out of it if you get hit, but the closer you are to the center, the harder it's going to be to get to the edge and avoid getting hit again.
Yeah. Yeah, and let's say it also applies a small slow, but the slow is bigger if you're close to him.
Okay, yes. Slow.
So the closer you are to the champion, to the center, the bigger the slow is, because you shouldn't be able to if you're at the end, okay, you can reach out, but if you got stuck or if you got close to him, you're gonna be in a hell heap of trouble. I'm guessing that's the ultimate.
Yeah. So the knockback effect would be similar to Emperor's Divide.
Yeah.
Okay, I really like that. I think that's a very cool ultimate.
If it's not a root, but just a knockback, let's say it does a hell of a heap of damage.
Yeah, so we've got large damage.
Yeah,
I guess the basic idea is closer to center is larger effect.
Mm-hmm. Damage,
okay.
knockback, and slow. Okay.
So we can work backwards then. So you've got a very cool ultimate, so let's see. So what kind of character are we looking at here? So someone who needs to be able to get into the center of the opposing team to be able to even use this, and they need to also stay alive while they're doing so. So that does suggest a relatively beefy character.
Yeah, I think we had so our last champion was a anti-mage off tank. Guessing now we could have. We didn't make an assassin yet.
Okay, I like it. All right, so if we go for
we didn't make an assassin yet, so yeah.
So they would need, maybe they're not tanky all the time. Maybe the
ultimate gives them like bonus resistance or something, like Galio's ultimate, or his old ultimate did it at least.
Okay. Yeah, I quite like that idea because a lot of assassins, they kind of just do one thing, which is to get onto someone and murder them. But I do like the idea of an assassin who will kind of will use their mobility to get into the heart of the enemy team, like assassinate a target, and then at the end of it, like have that team fight utility before they go back to being more of a regular assassin.
Yeah, and also with this ultimate already, because a lot of people have issues with assassin because there is no. Like they say, there's no counterplay to a Talon ultimate because he just clicks on you and the blades go on you. But with this ultimate, there's a lot of counterplay possible. Just don't be near him, and that's all the counterplay you need.
Yeah, I quite like that. So, I'm just trying to figure out how to spell assassin because it's one of those words. Oh, there's two S's.
An assassin.
Okay, it's more straightforward than I thought it was. There you go. All right, so. Let's see. So if we're going to make an assassin, let's talk a little bit about what we've got already. So Shaco, Talon, Akali. Can you think of any of the ones which might be worth considering?
Is Katarina an assassin?
Sort of. In loosest terms.
Okay, let me just. Okay. Zed.
Oh yeah, of course Zed. Yes.
Ari is also named as an assassin, although.
Okay, well let's take those ones we've got there, and try and figure out what kind of stuff we could steal from them. So, Zed's got Zed and Ari have both got a damage amp on single target, which is like that's probably the most obvious of the ideas. Akali and Talon both have got Akali, Talon, and Shaco,
and Katarina and Zed all have dashes.
Oh yes, so visibility and maneuverability. So yeah, in fact, nearly all of those guys have got some form of blink and some form of invisibility.
I think he should have at least a sort of blink or a sort of maneuverability. I don't know if he needs invisibility. Personally, and this is just a personal opinion of mine, I'm not a fan of invisibility in the game.
No, I don't think it's handled particularly well.
No, I think especially because some forms of visibilities, and I'm thinking of Akali then, are do not have any forms of counterplay, and I think that grows into, the fun factor really drops then when you have champions who don't have counterplay. Like for example, Azir can do a whole heap of damage, but whenever you get killed by a skillful Azir, you have something. Oh, this guy is really good. I mean, or oh yeah, I missed a dash, or if I played that better, I maybe could have escaped. So I'm guessing we should work more on that concept. And I'm thinking that invisibility in League at the moment does not really offer, like, everybody knows. Oh, you're playing your lane correctly, and suddenly there's a Twitch next to you, and like, oh yeah, there's nothing I could have done because he doesn't get spotted by a ward. So that's kind of a bummer.
Well, we've got. I think that's broadly the way Riot define it is there's temporary invisibility and there's longer term invisibility. I think Akali kind of straddles the line a little bit there. So you've got like people like. Who invisibility is super central to their kit, which is maybe a better way of just dividing it, because I don't necessarily think they have to be long term. So Twitch, is definitely like that. The way his kit is done, that invisibility allows him to get into position to do things that other marksmen wouldn't be able to do. For Kali, it's a survival tool. For Shaco, it's a very short-term prospect, but it's still super central to him.
Yeah, if you take away Shaco's Q, then the champion just becomes worthless because he cannot really do anything anymore.
Well, okay, well, if we're gonna go in on the whole tentacle thing, the most obvious thing I can think of for a maneuverability ability is effectively a bandage toss kind of thing.
Yeah, or a bandage toss, or maybe even a Zac thing, or he kind of drags himself along. So he throws tentacles and he pushes himself forward or something, like the slingshot, but it doesn't have a wind up, something like that. Or as you said already, a bandage toss.
How about this? This is possibly just for the sake of being contrary, because I kind of feel like maybe the best choice here is effectively just a death sentence kind of ability or a bandage toss, because there's already a few of them. But just for the sake of trying to be a little bit more creative, what about if instead of pushing them, like trying to grab onto somebody, that you push off from the ground?
Oh yeah.
So it's like kind of like you sort of, because I don't think there's mechanics in the game. I'll fully see if there is, and I've just forgotten what it is. But the idea that you kind of you put like a tentacle behind you and it kind of presses into the earth, and you sort of determine how far you're going to leap. But you don't choose where you're going to leap specifically. You have to figure out, like, from, if I push it this far back, I'll go further. If I put it close, I'll go a short amount.
Oh, yeah. So you literally sort of click and drag where you give yourself a push.
Yes. You're giving yourself a push from the back rather than trying to go onto somebody. So that would be very, very powerful because you don't need to hit anyone.
Yeah, and it's very skillful because it's something that you really need to practice.
I think maybe the difficulty of landing it on somebody else would maybe balance out for that being a lot more generally useful.
Let's say if you land, that you do a lot of damage, because that sounds like something.
Should we do that for the Q then?
I wouldn't make the Q a sort of poking ability for in lane, so maybe the E would be better for it, because E is usually this. Because mostly, if you want to keep the Riot team, mostly E are displacement abilities. Like I'm thinking of a Katarina. I think no, Z it's a W, but mostly E is your displacement ability.
Okay, so rather than death sentence, bandage.
So you literally drag your tentacle, or at least you say, look, this is how far you click where the tentacle needs to come from, and it will always push onto you, but how far, or the angle and the the range your tentacle clicked it from you will determine where you're gonna land, and you don't know in advance. It's not like with the Zac that you can, you 100% know I'm gonna land on this spot. You kind of have to feel it around. I think this is a very cool ability. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, it sounds like it would be very hard to be good at, because you need to be able to mentally put that in place. But I think it could be cool. Like, again,
Yeah.
because we're sort of experimenting around here, I'm not 1,000% worried if it's, you know, how practical it is, but just that it's an idea that maybe will be worth exploring. In fact, I'm almost certain they will have thought about it and probably thought, it's too fiddly.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, so this is a hard... So we've got the considerations here that if you can use it whenever you want, it probably needs a long cooldown.
Yeah, probably.
Because that's like, you know, that's basically a guaranteed escape tool nearly all the time, and it's also presumably relatively long range.
Yeah, let's say you can jump quite a distance if it's on max range. So definitely, long cooldown, long range.
And then you get some sort of reward if you are good enough at it to, so I guess damage and CC if you land on someone.
Yeah, and let's say that his hitbox, that this is particularly small. I don't see this as in big character. So your landing spot or the hitbox of your landing spot is quite small. And since it does have a long cooldown, if you land on someone, you can say, okay, you can take a lot of damage because it's really difficult to hit your target.
And maybe it gives you a cooldown refund of some kind.
Oh, that's something you can do. Yeah, if you hit a target, it gives you a cooldown refund. If you
like maybe not like total cooldown refund, but like some.
Yeah. Okay.
So that you can kind of, I don't know, we kind of get into a bit of a Mario area where you're trying to bounce people's heads. Yeah. All right,
Okay,
well,
so
that seems reasonable. So okay, so we've got a very, very good ultimate. We've got a interesting maneuverability ability. So what do we need for Q and E?
let's say the Q needs
Q
to
and
be
W, sorry.
Is he a melee character? I'm guessing he is, right?
I think probably.
Yeah, he might have some. I mean, his abilities have, or at least his E and his R has a long range or medium range at least. And let's say that he needs something to, because assassins are notoriously for being difficult in lane, as in you can punish them. So almost all assassins have some form of ability that also gives them something to lane, or it gives them their laning phase a bit more easy, like their Akali has her shurikens, Zed has his Q, Arya has her Q as well. So that's something where you can at least you can do damage. It's a skill shot, and it gives you something to lane. So
well, if we're going to try and lean into the sacrifice idea a bit, because it's sort of there's a thread of logic from the idea that it's somebody who needed to be sacrificed would then go on to sacrifice other people. What about? I'm thinking like maybe it's an ability that. I mean, this is literally just taking Talon's Q, really. But maybe it's a basic idea of having something where you... It's like a damage ability. The problem is that's literally Talon's Q. But it would work so well for this concept, which is it's something that does a bit of damage, and if it kills maybe if it kills a minion, or if you use it on a champion, it gives you back like some proportion of that. Like half half is for you, half is for the Kraken. But I don't know how to differentiate that from just Talon's Q, because that's literally what that one is as well.
What if? Okay, so the thing is, the obvious thing is that he slams down a tentacle, but that's Alawi, so I don't want to do that. So what if he chose something like a fishy team, like maybe like fish bones or something like that?
Okay, what would the fish bones do?
Well, they can do damage. I mean, he already has a lot of, let's say he already has a lot of CC for an assassin, so I do not want to give him more CC on his Q and his W. But scales, yeah, well, Happy Light says here immediately a good idea. He throws one of his scales, and if it hits, the target is marked. Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Okay.
So he throws a couple of scales. Like, let's say he throws 3 scales.
Oh, what? Okay. Like to go, because I really like that idea already. How about that he's? I mean, I know we're probably a little bit maybe too in love with the idea of resource systems for people, but I think they are a way to differentiate. How about if he has, like, say, 3 scales, and he can use them as weapons or he can use them defensively. So it's like a kind of like a reverse. Sorry, we probably use the Tam Kench stuff too much as well, which is that you've got like sort of an ammo system, but if you're hit, that your ammo goes down. So it's like almost like a 3-segmented shield.
What if he just spews out water? Like, because you have a lot of fish who can squirt water, as in they spew out water from their mouth or something. What if he does that? Like, he just spits out water and he's like, and whenever you kill something or it lowers, you have ammo, but whenever you kill something, your ammo charger gets a bit back. You can charge it quicker. So if you jump into a team fight and there are 2 people low, so he spews it out, and then if he kills a champion, he gets, let's say, half of his ammo back. So, and his ammo is on a low cooldown, so he does 3 Qs, he kills someone, and he can almost do 2 again.
Okay. Okay, so if it's maybe it's an ammo system that recharges a little bit faster in the river.
Oh, that's also pretty cool, yeah. Yeah, because he is an assassin, so that means that there's roaming ability. So that gives him a better chance of roaming, yeah.
Yeah, actually, no, that's really good. That's a happy coincidence, but you're right to catch up on that. So encourages roaming.
No, it's like genuinely this bullets heavy light sense. No, I don't think. I think it's more like Rumble with his harpoons.
He definitely could. The E is definitely very Zac. Like, it's basically taking a longer way round to end up in the same place. And it does if he's got a ability which encourages being in the river, then it does seem to make sense for him to potentially be a jungler or at least a heavy roamer. Okay, so a Spitwater, like, presume it has a skill shot.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a skill shot. So because I've been doing Brawl Stars a bit recently, that's kind of given me some ideas for the way which they do stuff, which is a little bit different than League of Legends. Which is that you can have skill shots which explode at the end of that skill shot. Because I don't think League of Legends really does.
No, I don't think as well. You don't have a lot of skill shots who explode at the end. I think you have like the Victor Ray explodes at the end, sort of.
Oh, Corky's rockets do.
Yeah, sort of.
Graves ult, Graves ult. So okay, so it does exist. It's just not very common. Maybe like if it's talking about spitting water, like maybe it's something that if it hits a champion or terrain, that it explodes into like a AoE at the end of it. Champion.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's a pretty decent thing. So okay. So we've got just the W then. So at the moment we've got like the basic kind of skill shot ability, which I think is fine. It's at least got something to kind of make it different. So we could tie in some kind of. We haven't really done anything as of yet in terms of Mark. We've not got anything which interacts between his abilities specifically as of yet. So we could bring in that kind of stuff.
Okay, so his ultimate is very powerful, does a lot of damage. His Q is probably as well very powerful. Or at least it will have a small AoE area, but if you get hit by it, it will probably do a lot of damage.
Oh, Happy had a good idea. That the Q is low damage, but it's
slowing.
Yeah. What do you think of that? I think that works pretty well.
I don't know. I would really like to incorporate it in, but it doesn't feel like an assassin ability.
I presume the intention is to try and keep someone next to you.
Oh yeah, okay.
So you can keep hitting them.
It would be better if the Q did very little damage on itself.
Well, if you've got a recharge system, maybe the idea is that your auto attacks are going to do something, and that the water spitting is just to try and keep them.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough. Okay.
And also, I want to incorporate. Maybe it's because I want to incorporate something that Happy said specifically.
Okay, no, so fine. Yeah, no, it's fine. Mate. Also, if he's a jungler, I'm guessing that's something he really needs to have, because if it's on a high cooldown, the spit water thing, he won't be able to jungle.
Well, if it's maybe what it could be is if it's low cooldown with the intention that you're supposed to use it multiple times, but the ammo system is high.
Oh. I don't know why it got so small, Happy. That's you have to ask.
Oh, whoops! Sorry, that's because
Oh, you can see my kitchen. No, it's disgusting.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I forgot that the. There we go. That should be fixed. But yeah, okay. So, what do you think of the idea of a slow recharging ammo system, but that you can expend it quite quickly? So that's kind of how it plays into the.
Yeah,
assassin
I think that's.
part.
Yeah, no, I think that's good, because that means when you're traveling, if he is a jungler. So I'm thinking what we have now, we can both lane and still jungle, which is amazing because not a lot of champions have that ability. Okay, so let's keep that in the back of our head. I don't think that's something we should focus on. So scales.
Well, okay, so I'm immediately already in love with my own idea, but I just like the idea of a shield that can be weaponized. Just because I don't think that's been done. That's the main reason I can think of to go for that idea.
So, let's say that his that you can make something that if his W has sort of a wind up, as in he activates it in the first couple of seconds. You want a shield, right? So it gives him a shield. I don't want to make a Scion W, but it gives him a shield, but afterwards it will explode, which is basically what Scion is. Or you can make it differently then. Instead of a shield, it gives you resistances. It makes you tankier for like a short period of time, but afterwards you'll do a lot of damage.
Sorry, I was just reading what Happy was saying. Yeah, I think the shield and the weapon stuff is right. Sorry, you're saying that I kind of like the idea of a very short-term Scion shield kind of thing, where it's only intended to kind of to block maybe a specific instance of damage, rather than be something that will keep you alive through an extended period of fight.
A spell shield, maybe?
Could do. I think it would be very spell shield like in how it works.
We can maybe make it more like a Morgana black shield, as in Morgana, as in I mean a Malzahar passive, as in you become spell immune, but you're still vulnerable after that one. Because actually, Malzahar is spell immune, but only for it's more spell shield, because he's spell immune, but only for the first ability that hits him.
Okay, so let's go for Scales Shell. I mean, maybe it could just work in the same kind of way, where you've got like when you haven't been hit already, that you're spell immune.
Oh, that's a cool one. How about spell immunity, but you still take damage? So crowd control immunity.
Okay, so CC...
So the damage goes through, but you're immune to crowd control.
Okay,
so
and what would be the thing that would kind of, how would you get around that as a enemy player?
Let's say it just blocks one ability. So you need to do another one. So it's kind of a shield that has like let's say 4 to like 2 or 3 seconds, and it doesn't have to be long. But if you use your CC on him immediately, that means, oh, I wasted my CC. So you first need to do another ability, and then you need to do your crowd control.
Okay, I think that's alright. So it's basically putting Edge of Night into his kit.
Sort of, yeah, sort of.
So would this be an activatable ability, or would this be a passive ability?
I'm thinking it would be... I'm thinking if it's activatable, it's a bit too much. I don't know. Sorry, if it's not activatable, it's a bit too much. I don't know. We can make this the passive part.
Yeah, yes, that's right. Actually, we haven't got a passive yet. We could just do this on the passive.
We actually can make this W the passive part.
Okay. Yeah, I can live with that. We'll have to come up with. Yeah, I think Happy is on the same page there of a passive with a long cooldown. So yeah,
We could actually make it that if he gets a kill, it resets.
Yes, I like that.
If he gets a kill, it resets.
Yes, I think that would be really cool.
Because you can say, oh my god, this is so. It looks like if you get five kills or 5 assists. Oh my god, this is so powerful. Yes and no, as in because he doesn't block damage, so you can still burst him down. It's not like he remains spell immune for the entire duration. It's just that he doesn't get CC'd.
Yeah, I quite like that idea. Like,
yeah.
Traditionally, the way to deal. Let's see what's Happy saying. So it could be the passive of the W though. That's true. I mean, well, yes, it could. I guess it could work equally well as a. Because I feel like a lot of passive abilities could easily be on main abilities.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Also, they've been incorporating more and more passive parts of abilities, so.
Oh, Happy, that's a good thought. So, alright, well, if we're going to go for something active for the W, because if we put that passive on the W, then it would make sense for it to have some kind of other similar effect, but you can activate it. I mean, I suppose the most obvious one would be just an instant refresh on that passive effect. So that's not
yeah, why not?
Interesting.
No, but it doesn't. It's not bad though. As in, so the passive part is that he's CC immune, but he can also just reactivate it, as in he can dodge 2 CC abilities, but no damage reduction.
I feel like it needs probably something more in there. Like, so refreshing the shield is like, I think that's fine. As in, basically, this guy, the Freaky Fish guy, would be a choice for going against teams that had heavy CC, because CC traditionally is the way that you deal with assassins.
Yeah, it can be something like, imagine actually this is a very good counter against the Trash. So imagine they have a hyper carry and 2 tanks and the Trash. That's something that's very difficult to deal with as a team. But if you pick this guy, you can kind of say, okay, I'm gonna go in quickly, and I might even sacrifice myself, but I can kill a hyper carry. For example, let's just say if they have a Jinx or Tristana, it's very difficult to deal with that if they have a lot of CC, or if they have like a Scion, a Jarvan, and the Trash, because you can almost never get to the Jinx or the Tristana anymore late game. Even if you have an assassin, it's still very difficult. But with this guy, you just need to have right positioning, as in you'll probably sacrifice yourself for the kill, but it means that you kill the hyper carry.
Yeah, I like that. That sort of makes sense. Like, as much as we're kind of talking about the idea of them sacrificing other people, I also kind of like the idea of them sacrificing themselves for the Kraken over and over again. So yeah, I'm into that.
Yeah, champions have been champions have indeed been getting a lot more complex, but I don't know if that's necessarily always a good thing. As in, look at Xylus. His kit is, even his ultimate is pretty basic, as in you just yoink another ultimate, or your Q is your kit is pretty simple, but that doesn't make him a bad champion. I think it even makes him a better champion, as in it's okay, he's still skillful, but his kit is pretty straightforward. And I'm thinking they're doing the same. Yumi, I haven't seen a lot of gameplay from her. Her kit looks complex, but in essence, she's a pretty big. Her kit isn't all that complex. I mean, your ultimate is just, it's just a click ability. You need to aim it, sure, but you just have healing, you have shielding, but you don't do anything overly complex like you have, for example, in Aurelion Soul.
Oh, something which is just coming to mind as, yes, release the Kraken by Ninja Sex Party would make it more sense. Let's put that in as as something to add on to. One of the things I'm trying to think through as well is how their play pattern works, because currently we have got a relatively clear idea, which is that it feels like somebody who's going to, they use their E to get onto you, and then they spit water in your face over and over again while dropping in multiple spell shields to make it very hard for you to disengage from them. Which, like, I feel that's a decent play pattern. So I think that maybe we could find a way to make it a bit more. Like, I'm trying to think, like, if you can't CC them, presumably, yeah, you've got to have enough damage there to...
What if when he dies, he does damage?
Oh, sort of
as
passive.
passive. As a passive thing, yeah, like... When he dies, it doesn't... although, yeah, Kog'Maw has it. Damn.
We could get the same idea.
Yeah, Glory to the Kraken is also a very cool name. Okay.
So, yeah, actually, no. So, if we're building towards the idea that this is a champion who sacrifices themselves for the glory of the Kraken, that, yeah, maybe they've got some sort of effect that...
What if, let's say, this might be a bit too much, but what if his passive if he gets killed by a target who is below like 300 HP or 400 HP, or scaling with level. If he gets killed by a champion who is below a certain amount of HP, he executes them. This is extremely powerful. I know. But if the threshold isn't all that big, it also makes it very difficult to deal with the champion. As in, yes, will I kill him or not? As in, for example, if I'm an AD carry and I'm very low, I cannot kill him. I need to have my support do the final blow, or I need to have somebody else do the final blow.
Well, so Happy was mentioning the old Zyra passive, which was to turn into a flower and then fire off a shot.
Oh, yeah, that might be something cool.
They could just turn into a big tentacle and just do an Alawi, like just give them the Alawi Q as a passive.
That's actually not a bad.
Well, I also had the idea of maybe just giving them a Hemoplague effect. Like when they die, they explode, and anybody who's within a certain radius gets a debuff. That means they take more damage for a certain amount of time. No, I think that's better than that. I'm thinking my ability, my passive is just too powerful. I think the instant death is definitely very powerful.
Instant death is maybe not instant death. Anyway, I think your Hemoplague thing is a bit better. As in, because it means that your carry is still very vulnerable and it still collides with your sacrificial team. As in, you go in, you do everything you can on the carry. If you cannot kill him, he gets a debuff or he takes more damage, so your team can follow up. As in, okay, this guy is low, and he will also take more damage. So if you still blow a lot of our abilities on him, he will probably die.
Okay, yeah, so if we go for... I guess we could probably do a debuff, possibly like some sort of dot as well, like on top of that. So yeah, it's like Happy's saying, like it's something like a Mordekaiser's ult to an extent. So a debuff. Damage. So yeah, so even if that does reward you for playing in the middle of the opposing team, which is that they can kill you, but it will give them a disadvantage, which won't mean they'll definitely
instantly
lose.
Execute you.
It instantly executes the player. It reaches through your screen and slays
if
you.
I die, you die. Yeah, no, I think that's a bit too much. Yeah, so I'm thinking this is already pretty worked out kit. I think this is I was gonna say this is probably the most straightforward champion we have done. Do keep in mind he has CC immunity for possibly 6 spells.
Yes, which is probably the most problematic part of the kit.
Which is good, because I mean his E, let's say his E is very difficult to hit. So let's say you won't hit an enemy with it. Your Q and your ultimate are the only things that do damage. So
yes.
I don't think it's it's an over. It's fine that he does have this amazingly powerful W, because his other abilities don't do as much. Take example Gangplank. Gangplank only has one ability that does damage. Not his ultimate, but his Q is the only ability that does damage, and he's still one of the biggest chunkers in the game. So yeah, I think this kind of fits well into the kit. Also, it also fits well into the sacrificial theme we've created here.
Yes, Happy. I think there was a bit of a problem with the video at the beginning, so we kind of missed. Unfortunately, I think the world might have missed out on our amazing team song. I guess we could just do it again to close out the episode. But yeah, I think we've got a reasonable kind of basic assassin here. Which, I mean, this is the first assassin we're designing as well. So we might have just designed an incredibly annoying assassin more than anything else, which is like, you can't deal with them with CC, and when you do kill them, you're also punished for it as well. Like, I don't know if this is. Maybe we should start trying to build in more like potential avenues for outplay, because I think maybe the Freaky Fish guy, who we still need a name for, is gonna have like. It's so straightforward that it's hard to know where the kind of where the points of relief for an opposing player are.
Yeah, so okay, let's say the counterplay for his ultimate is simple, don't be near him. His tentacle jump is, I mean, you can dodge it.
He's probably quite bad against people with maneuverability, I suppose, because
his
name could be David Jones.
Okay, so yeah, he's probably bad against people with maneuverability. Then again, so are a lot of assassins. So, because if you cannot get if Akali cannot get onto an AD carry, she's basically doomed. Okay, so let's.
Yeah, that's probably right, considering that mobility is very prevalent. And
I mean, W, it sounds immensely powerful. Do keep in mind, you do not have any damage reduction. So, if he can just get blown up. For example, if you have a Syndra in your team, she can just ult him.
Yeah.
Because it goes in next to you. Or, for example, if you have, I'm wondering, somebody who has a very powerful ability when you're close. Almost all brawlers, when you're close, you can just he can really insta-give him.
I like the sass from Happy, which I actually missed before, saying that yes, Gangplank's barrels, they don't do damage at all.
No, they don't. His barrels on its own do not do damage. Your Q or your other attacks do damage. So that means, besides on his ultimate, Gangplank only has two abilities that do damage, and those are his Q and his ultimate. Yes, his passive does also damage, but that's your other attack. So okay. I'm a Gangplank maiden, so I have.
Oh man, Happy, you need to actually come on and join us for on the actual mics sometime, because Happy's it's the real heart. Oh, I forgot to add on the sound. There we go. Yes, there we go. Caster access, counter cast, and mostly Happy light sounds. There we go, sorted. Alright, I'm just trying to think. I feel like maybe there needs to be one, I want to kind of maybe put something onto them to just make them maybe a little bit more than they are at the moment. I don't know though.
It is very basic. That's true. Maybe we can fiddle around more with this Q.
Well, I mean, the Qs. I do like the idea of the ammo system recharges better than the river, because that's very cute as an idea.
Mm-hmm.
And also exploding for an AOE when it hits something is kind of neat.
Let's give his W an active ability, because when I'm looking at it now.
Well, so the closest approximation I can think of is Misfortune Strut.
Oh yeah, he walks. Yeah, okay, so it gives him more move speed.
Yeah, he could just increase his movement
Let's
speed.
say it increases his move speed, and his next auto attack on a champion will do a ton of damage. Because that's more in.
Maybe an execute auto attack.
Yeah.
Enhances. A to have. Yeah. Okay. We could give him the Blitzcrank effect of slowing down afterwards, but it's not something they've really done very much in League of Legends Champion Design. Because the Blitzcrank, when he gets his speed up, he then gets a slowdown afterwards as a kind of trade-off idea. But they haven't done that for a long time, as to having champions kits with actual negative parts of their abilities as built into them.
I'm guessing no, not really. Because you have a few where you have to stay stationary, where you're channeling, which is often a trade-off, and something like a Vi Q, where when she charges it up, she slows herself, which is pretty fair, because otherwise her Q would be a bit too powerful. So yeah, this might be increased move speed, enhanced next auto attack has an execute effect, and afterwards he has like a 1 second slow.
How about this? Oh wait a sec. So maybe gets a bunch of move speed in the river, but as soon as he leaves it, it's initially slow. That's an interesting idea, Happy. I don't think I've ever really seen that before. What do you think?
We can make it that he isn't. I think what you need to do is for this one, but that's not really. That's not really from a design. That's not really from a design perspective. As in, when he exits the river, there's a sort of animation. There's a sort of animation which makes him, or he jumps out or something like that. And as in, yes, you give him a slow, but it's hidden behind an animation. And I think,
what about this? This is kind of combining both of your ideas together a little bit, which is that he gets a Rengar leap when he's coming out of the river, but once he's done that leap, it then slows him for a second or so.
Yeah, almost like when
it's like a flying fish kind of thing.
Yeah, or sort of like when a Warwick ults, but he misses. His first second, he can't really do anything because he's stuck in his animation time. I'm thinking that's a very good idea. So he can leap out of the river. Maybe not as big as Rengar, or although it is in the river, so it can be as big as Rengar because it doesn't happen in bushes or anything. So he has a Rengar leap out of the river.
Like, if he doesn't hit someone, he slows.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking that if he does hit someone, then it gets slopped in place. It's going to feel kind of awkward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think that's fine.
Yeah, I think that's, again, I feel like this champion is probably just cute more than actually, particularly cleverly designed.
You look at Yumi.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. I think that's a nice way to make him feel more unique.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's. Oops.
I think if we have a name for him, our champion is basically done.
All right, Happy. We know that you're the best at naming by miles.
Hey, I came up with Cross. I'm
sorry. All right.
No, Happy, please. I would value your input very much.
So we've got the freaky fish guy. So the backstory is there's this cult of the Kraken in Bilgewater that kidnaps people and sacrifices them to the Kraken. This person was actually, they don't need to be a guy necessarily.
Oh, no.
That they got sacrificed to. Actually, no, we can do this before. So, do you happen to have a dice, or could you just get one online? Because what I've seen it done is what we do is roll a 6-sided dice or random number generator. Gender fluid because water is fluid as well. I actually kind of like that.
So roll a d2.
So if you roll a d6 and 1 to 2 they're male, 3 to 4 they're female, and 5 to 6 they're I don't know if the right time is intergender or kind of non-binary.
I'm not gonna go into that one. Roll a dice line. Okay, so
the Kraken doesn't care about your gender. He just wants your guts.
Yeah. Or we can make him a child.
Oh.
So if
Ugh.
it's 1 or 2, it's male. If it's so let's make it a D4. If it's a 1, it's a man. If it's a 2, it's a woman. If it's a 3, it's a boy. If it's a 4, it's a girl.
Okay.
Okay. So 4. Number of dice rolls 1. Number of rolls 1. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Roll the dice. It's a 3, so it's a boy, I'm guessing.
Okay. Actually, I kind of like that. I mean, it's certainly. I don't know if people would be happy with a small. Like, I feel like thematically, this person's probably closest to Pike.
Yeah, he's definitely closer to Pike, as similar in his kit and similar in his his lore and his feel and stuff like that. But I think that's still fine. Oh no, my camera!
Happy.
My camera!
Oh, sorry. I went and answered the message. I keep forgetting I need to keep the Discord on you, otherwise it messes up.
I just want your guts.
Small boy assassin. What the hell? Well, the fact he got the reaction from Happy does suggest that it might. There isn't a like a. There's Annie is a small girl kind of character. There isn't a small boy.
And Zoe is also. I mean, Zoe, her abilities look cute. She doesn't really She doesn't have a blade and murders you. That's more like. Let's just make him a man. I'm guessing. Let's just make him a man.
I don't know. I kind of like it. I think it's because it's more horrific. Like I think initially the fact that it generates an emotional reaction from people, I think is something. Like, cause we're probably talking about someone who's somewhat like Davy Jones, but I think by having them be like a much younger person, it creates a very different kind of effect where it's a tragic figure as opposed to powerful.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I could definitely imagine it sort of being like a kind of like a shambling figure where they've got really dead eyes, and you just like you feel sorry for them, and then like very quickly you feel sorry for yourself as they.
Okay, so I'm gonna look up a few names. He got resurrected, right?
Yes.
So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna look up resurrection in a couple of other languages or synonyms. You look up synonyms, I'll look it up in other directions.
Okay, synonyms for resurrection. Let's see. Reappearance, rebirth, restoration, resurgence is probably a good title word for him. It's like something the resurgence.
Actually, what's in it in Hawaiian?
Hawaiian, the most threatening of all the languages.
No, but Malawi's Hawaiian.
Is she?
Well, she has an Hawaiian feel, doesn't she? I don't know.
Wait, what?
Oh, it's a boy, right?
Yes.
So resurrection in Hawaiian is ala huana. Because why wouldn't it be?
Lazarus is the classic resurrection.
Yeah.
So we could maybe combine the two. So could you type out how your other one went? Or copy and paste that one?
I'll even copy paste it in chat so Happy can see it as well. I have too many tabs open. Copy, paste. Okay, here it goes.
Alahuana.
Laser.
Lazerkraken.
Lazerkraken.
My name is Lazerkraken. Meow 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 meow.
It reminds me of the scene in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 where Taserface. My name is Lazerkraken.
Oh boy. Okay, so maybe something like if we go for if we put the Laz.
I'll try and look it up in some other language, of course I can.
Lasuana.
Lasuana.
I guess that kind of sounds like a young boy's name. It's a little fiddly as the name goes. We've also kind of run out of time, so
Yeah. Frank. No. I don't know. Yeah.
all right. Well, unless Happy or you can think of a better name than Lazerkraken.
Oh, Morty. Yes, you're here. Sorry, you're late. We're just finishing up.
Oh no.
Actually, we can come back to this one. We can give him a name next time.
All right. So let's put it to be confirmed. I guess I'll put it into the. I'll edit it into the. It can be called Freaky Fish Guy: The Resurgence. I guess I don't know. Wait. So if it's Freaky Fish Guy, let's see if I can just kind of edit that down to be. Freshy? Freshy is Freaky Fish Guy. Freaky Fish Face.
No. Just no.
Freshy. The freshest of all of the assassins.
Also, he's a fish, so you can say, I'm fresh.
That would be appalling. I love it.
Yeah, I love it. Okay.
Freshy the Laser. Alright, cool. We haven't got another name, so let's go
Freshy
for
the
it.
Lazerkraken, sure. Let's say it's a work in progress, but this is a good placeholder. Freshy the Lazerkraken.
Mordo, I don't think I can enable lower quality until I'm affiliated, but I will. I'll try and get affiliated as soon as I can, so I can. Yeah, I might try stream it at lower quality in the future actually, just because I'm not sure this needs to be at full 1080p really.
I think if you lower the frames to like to 30 instead of 60, that will do a lot as well.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's currently set to this. Okay,
Salamander. When's the next stream? ASAP. As in, we have to because the thing is that we both have conflicting schedules often, but I'm more available on Wednesdays now, so that's very good for me.
Yeah, well, if we go for this one is basically done. So it's Freshy the Lazerkraken, which is just the worst name ever, but it's also pretty eye-catching because it's so silly. So there we go, Freshy Lazerkraken. He is honestly the worst thing ever. So if we go for 3:30 UK time next Wednesday, is that going to work for you this time around, Exodus?
Just let me look into my schedule. I don't think I have anything planned next Wednesday. Yeah, should work for me.
Alright, I'm going to put it in my schedule. So what we do is we tend to start talking at about 3 o'clock. Temp design, okay, and then be ready to go by 3:30. So yeah, thank you guys for dropping by. So Freshy the Lazerkraken, Exodus, now that he has been birthed into this world.
Wow.
Well now, okay. Why don't I think because our stream didn't actually work to start off with, we can actually just do. Would you want to just do the song again?
Okay, let's try.
All right. So random beatboxing.
Oh, so wait, I'm getting the lines again. Okay.
Okay, so we made well, Exodus made up a song which was based on a existing property, but we'll see if you can figure out which one it is. Yeah. It's not very hard. All right.
Okay, I just need to have the.
That's right, Happy. We finish on a song.
Okay, let's. Okay, 3, 2, 1. You start.
You can bet before we're through.
Mr. I'll make a champ for you.
Make a champ.
It's gonna be very clunky.
Make a champ.
With a lot of nerves needed.
Make a champ.
We'll need all the help we can get.
Make a champ.
Riot, please hire us today.
We'll be back next week at 3:30 UK time. Don't miss it, and our amazing songwriting capabilities. Excellent, thank you. Happy Light Sense, Morda. You guys, thanks for dropping by, and we look forward to seeing you again next week.
Bye.